I guess now West Coast Sean. Story didn't start here. It started off in the middle of Nebraska. Well, western side of Nebraska. I was born in Scotts Bluff. I'm dealing with a lot of abuse, systemic abuse. It's different than Rodney King. A lot different than Rodney King. See, nobody knew who Rodney King was, so those cops knew they could beat him to death if they wanted to. And they certainly tried. With me, everybody in Boulder knew who I was. All I did was run around and saving lives and going to work. My story started in Virginia as far as the hell from Natalie's friends and family went. Before that, Natalie and I was just friends. After that, well, look up the name Jamie again on my channel. Matter of fact, I'll see if I can get the phone working and show that to you. This stuff happens everywhere I go. If you look through the Computaco series, Computaco, on my channel, well, that was me getting my computer back. Computer full of evidence. Meth heads helped me to get my evidence back. Not the police. The police were too busy bullying me. Same thing with the local businesses. They were just pawning me off on each other like they do everywhere else. That's what it's really like when you're homeless. I recommend you look up the name Natalie Bollinger. I need someone to make calls with me so I can get this stuff taken seriously when I'm abused. When it comes to an at-risk and disabled adult who's being abused, you know what? When you know somebody's honest, and you know they have communication difficulties, and you know they're going to get talked over, you know they get taken advantage of, somebody's got to help speak up for them, and I'm barely able to function. I literally can't take care of myself with all of my money getting spent to go running around in circles to get harmed more. I can't afford to buy these people's body cameras from them. I have nobody to help me sort through this evidence. Look what I'm living in. All right, there are 15 bags of evidence underneath that, of hundreds of threats, harassment, intimidation. I've been assaulted at least 100 times since Natalie's death. Because people want to pretend I was some sort of creepy stalker. No, people actually stalked me. I tried to do everything the right way, the legal way. And I got sent to mental health. This is not acceptable. The police have to investigate the problems with mental health. But mental health gets to decide. So basically, they just all decide that everybody gets to stay homeless and be called mentally ill, and they just keep on collecting check after check after check after check after check. But these people keep on coming out here and abusing each other and abusing me. All these homeless people in fucking therapy, but nowhere to live. And then when the cops just don't want to do their jobs, they make up any excuse to say, oh, he just didn't want to. They try to change your words. Claire's been through that, and she didn't like it very much. Lots of people been through that. The officer on the front of here is Officer McCoy. I do apologize if I said Officer McCormick. Oh, come on. I'm sorry if this turns into a longer video. Just so you know, I'm not the only victim of this kind of stuff. Jordan is a victim herself. She's in Colorado, where Natalie Bollinger was killed. Her and her friends gaslighted me and harassed me and intimidated me and assaulted me for over a year before she was killed. Meanwhile, I thought she was in Virginia the whole time. The evidence that I have shows that I'm not the bad guy, but I don't have any help turning it in. I have no safe place to go to actually process it. Nobody tries to understand autism. They don't understand PTSD especially. I got video after video after video of these transgressions, and I try to get the parts that I didn't have anyone there for. When I literally get to the point where I literally have to do something to turn it in. I suppose I should play the stuff with Claire, though, so you can hear that. Claire Jordan's another victim. She's also a female. She also has kids. She also fucked me over severely, but you know what? I understand why. They screwed her over and they took her kids.
So I'm in my car. Hang on a second. I'm in one of the canyons, so next stop to get all the way back up to Estes where I work.
Actually, I'm just going to stop that. Here's the thing, dude. Yes, what I need help with. I need help with explaining to them that I can't take care of myself. Like when you're telling on cops who didn't do their jobs to investigate crimes, instead of investigating the crimes, they're sending you to mental health, for mental health to send you through therapy. You fill out one housing thing. That's all they want to push is housing, 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 housing. But you're not ever getting housing. And every place you go to, when you explain you've already filled out the housing paperwork, I've got housing paperwork in multiple places. They're not doing anything about the abuse on the streets. By the public, by the police. Because they're too busy profiting from it. Oregon law or not, federal law supersedes it, and they can kiss my ass. They can come pick me up and my evidence whenever the hell they want. Meanwhile, my life doesn't matter, my evidence does. So I need somebody to make a call with me, multiple calls with me, and explain that this situation is very real. I can send stuff to you, but I can't turn it in by myself or it'll be ignored. If I have to go talk to a police officer, I have to have somebody at least on the phone with me. And I need somebody to call Adult Protective Services with me and explain that this is a very real situation and that, yeah, it's on the internet. And I need you to understand that there is so much more that is not on the internet because I am constantly living through this. I can't turn on my computers unless I can plug them in. And they have to stay plugged in. I spend all of my money running around to literally hundreds of different places, making hundreds of phone calls to places I've already called. And then there's the 988 Lifeline, the National Suicide Prevention Line that I've called. I want you to listen to those calls. I followed the recommendations of the quote-unquote mental health professionals. What did I get out of it? They just wanted to send me around in circles. I go to the mental health people. They say, well, we can't do anything. You got to go to the police about that. I did go to the police about it. They sent me to mental health. That is literally what they do. They send me around in circles. Like, of course, I got to try to get the body camera from Sergeant Pierce. Well, I hope everyone's all right. That certainly sounded like either a goddamn ambulance or a fire truck. See what the charge is at. 7%. All right, this is almost 10 minutes long. I'm sorry about that. I need somebody to help me fill out this paperwork, even if it's just over the phone. I need a place where I can sit down and plug in and have a conversation without being stuck in public doing it. Because I end up getting kicked out of public. That's right. There's a video called Jamie Again. I'm going to actually play that one for you. That happened in the Dalles, Oregon. I keep getting bullied into moving to another community. It costs all my money to do that. I don't get to make friends. I'm stuck in between two sides of a horrible war. A bunch of homeless addicts versus a bunch of lazy cops. Being a disabled person in the middle of that ain't no fucking good. I'm in a bad position. I'm also in a bad position to be disabled. I'm also in a bad position to be intelligent because both of those are ignored when there's supposed to be laws to protect me. Those laws haven't protected me. I've been abused to the point that I can barely function. I am never safe to drive. I've had to go to drug addicts all over the place to try to get help. Drug addicts. Do you think I want to go to drug addicts for help? Of course I don't. But I have Tourette syndrome, so I do this, or I do this with my wrist. Plus I stem, but I'm intelligent, so how dare I stem? Intelligent people don't stem. I want you to understand that one small rumor can get out of hand and destroy a lot of lives. I need someone to help me to share that information. And as far as the GoFundMe thing goes, I don't know how to do that. I did do that once, but when I'm forced into constantly moving around from place to place to place to place, I got an address on multiple occasions, but I was victimized into moving as soon as I got a fucking address. They keep me in a constant state of movement, costing me all of my money to try to start over somewhere else where it takes literally hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to start over, and nobody can possibly afford the rent here. This video, it's called Jamie Again. Please make it go viral. Power pound it. Also, if you can, help me to set up a GoFundMe. Help me to set up a GoFundMe, because two people set up GoFundMes for me after Natalie was killed. I tried to get someone to help me set one up before Natalie was killed. And I can prove all that stuff. The problem is I don't have enough money to live on. I don't have an advocate. And instead of sending me to a bunch of places that are supposed to advocate for me, I understand they're not advocating. They're not even trying. They don't care who hurts me. They don't care about my disabilities or how it affects me. They just want to talk over me. Housing, 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 housing. They spend all that time ignoring the abuse against me, and then I can't trust the cops or any of them. I've got enough evidence on this channel to audit them. The problem is that nobody has done anything for my safety. Nobody's given a shit. Lots of people talked about it, but they just didn't. If you will help me, type doggedroman@gmail.com. You know, the little name tag that I have, except add gmail.com to the end of it. And what do you do then? I'll send you as much evidence as I can just over the phone, just so that you can see enough to get started, to understand that I need people to speak out. Yeah, I've done a lot of mean things back. I never wanted to. It's what I had to do because people were lazy. But I can't live out here like this or do any of the things that they're asking out here like this, and they know it. I also want to pay attention to the time because it was around 7 o'clock that myself and that officer spoke. That's one of the important things about keeping phones full of evidence. It says exactly the time and date of a telephone call. But I can't possibly process tens of thousands of telephone calls. No, I probably haven't made quite that many, but I've made a lot. You notice I can speak, right? Well, that's all I'm capable of doing at this very moment. Help me to get people to understand that. I have back issues because of T11, T12 issue. I got leg problems because of it. I got walking problems because of it. When I try to turn in the crimes committed against me, it goes almost smoothly until people realize the cops broke the law, and then they immediately change their mind about doing their mandated reporter job. I don't think I'm going to need the speedometer because I'm not driving that fast. I'm just going to go and waste money I don't have on a pack of cigarettes. I've been telling myself I'm not gonna. That's a bad idea. I don't have the money to do that. I need to spend it on body cameras, but I'm freaking stressed out. Also, Officer Pierce, when my camera turned off, he started the mentally ill thing. I lost my housing before Natalie died because I was doing with my advocate, Tamara, and what's the other lady's name? Or not advocate, she was a caseworker. And Nicole Peralta was my therapist at the time. Let's make sure we don't run over anyone's kids. That's how I knew I'd be fine with the speed limit. Oh, kitty cats. Alright, done OCD now. For somebody who's autistic, stimuli is important. There's a few autistic things on my channel. Please go to those portions and listen to Anna Moomin, ANNAMOOMIN. She's actually autistic, high-functioning autistic like me. I am gonna play the thing, Jamie, again, that happened in the Dalles, Oregon. There's a lot of different stuff that's happened over the years, and I record all of it. I recorded the child abuse and also trying to turn in the child abuse and how impossible that is. How many women have abused their children that I had to try to turn in. There's also the children, some of them were very grateful. The problem is, in person, I don't have anyone to help, and I ended up homeless because of Natalie's death. And all my predators through my life got to prey heavily on that. If you have a burner number that you can use, I don't mean like to throw away like a killer or something, but one that's not your personal number, a professional number or something like that, so that we can make calls together. And that way your number is safe, but we can still get this information across. You can make the calls with me and explain how unsafe this is. You can look up the name Natalie Bollinger. You can see why people hate me. There's also the evidence all over my channel and a lot more in real life. I can't process this paperwork. I've got nowhere to do it, and you don't understand what that means. I was assaulted by Waylon Lotai, WAYLONLOLOTAI. There's two people that made GoFundMes for me. One of them was Candace Bondurant, who was threatened by the police. The other one was Cara Rogers, who was threatened by the police. And others. I've had to deal with head game after head game after head game. Like, hey, can we just, I don't know, let Sean have some peace and quiet? I lost one of my places because I had to go to the Front Range to get help. Why am I going to treatment? Treatment? What the fuck? No, I need help. You're mandated reporters. I'm being sent to you because you're mandated fucking reporters. Why are you treating me for abuse? What I need you to do is to help me to turn in the crimes that have been committed by mandated reporters because, well, these guys got to pay for their crimes. No more of this racketeering. We're human beings. The GoFundMe thing, I need help with that. I need someone to help to do that who has an address of their own and who's not going to rip me off or take advantage of me or get angry when they fuck up and I say something, because you will fuck up and I will say something. I'll fuck up too and I will say something. If you're honest, I'll say thank you and I will definitely speak up about how important that is. If you're dishonest, I'll fucking, well, definitely curse. Let's go get me a pack of cigarettes I can't afford. Oh, I can't even afford to do that. My phone's down to 5%. I guess I'll have to go in there without it. I need help to GoFundMe. I need help getting the Jamie Again video to go viral because God, that was horrible. But it's also the fact that I am repeatedly sent around in circles. This Mr. Pierce himself is sending me around in circles. As soon as the video died, I told him I needed to save $10 to get his, you know? Why the hell isn't it coming up? Alright, on my channel you can type in the word Jamie Again. You can see the video. In the first 30 seconds of the video, this woman is disabled. But they use the term mentally ill, send us to therapy, and they trade us back and forth between therapy and the jail. Or the hospital and the jail, back and forth, back and forth. Each one wiping the other one's backside. Both of these places getting paid for treating you. It's killing us. Warrenton Police Department, James Pierce, Sergeant. Help me to get this taken seriously. Help me to turn in the evidence. Because I don't have the ability to process it, obviously. Look what I'm living in. I got a storage facility I pay for. I can't do anything with my stuff in storage. I got a bunch of my stuff up in the mountains. Before you say you can't do anything about it, you can speak up. You can make the calls to Adult Protective Services. And this needs to be going to the federal level because what they're doing here is not right. They also got busted red-handed, and we got to make sure that their body cameras aren't mysteriously disappeared. Alright, I'll be right back with a pack of cigarettes. Whenever I talk to these people, somebody else needs to be on the phone with me and recording it, and they need to maintain a professional decorum. Unlike these places laughing at me. Yeah, there's recordings of the people down at, what's it called? First steps here. Alright, I'll be right back. Actually, if I do that, it'll die. I guess I better do it that way. Now I'll be right back. I need help stopping abuse by the police so that I can turn in the police. I need help stopping these mandated reporters from sending me elsewhere when I'm victimized. What do they do instead of doing their jobs as mandated reporters? What do they do? See, now it's police who should be investigating these crimes, not sending us to, well, therapists when we're harmed. No, Oregon law does not say to stuff us off onto fucking therapists. It doesn't mean bully us into committing suicide. So I need your help. You know what? After over a year of abuse by Natalie Bollinger's friends over things that Natalie Bollinger never said. Yeah, sure, she pretended like I stalked her to make her fucking friends and family happy, but the evidence shows that I didn't stalk her. I did what she wanted. It also shows that I wasn't the one who thought he was in love with her. She thought she was in love with me. The evidence also shows that I went to mandated reporters over and over and over again about the situation. The evidence shows that I wrote a lot of stuff down. The evidence also shows that I didn't have the electronic ability most of the time to do anything, and that I have been under siege by nut jobs, both on the internet and, of course, a very steady stream of fucking junkies out here on the streets and cops who want to be douchebags. Then there's the fact that Natalie Bollinger's death is in so many different languages. Like I said, it went viral. A lot of my friends were going to help me ended up stabbing me in the back because they didn't want the attention. The problem is that they went and got the attention by speaking up for me right at the beginning on Facebook and arguing with people on Facebook. Oh, Schwartzy would never do that. Sean would never do that. Yeah, but you never fucking come forward in court about the fact that I needed help. About the fact that I came to you for help. And that's the thing with you, is that you might be able to understand why I'm so afraid. I don't get to see my friends and family. All these videos that I'm having to go back and forth to, the only reason that I'm having these issues is because nobody goes in with me to do these things. Nobody makes these calls with me. Nobody tries to explain what my disabilities are or how they affect me. But then again, all of these people, these mandated reporters, are supposed to already know that stuff. And I know I say a lot of mean-hearted stuff about the police. That's for good reason. But what are the chances that I just watch while somebody gets shot? No, I probably would not be able to just watch. Not even if it's a bad cop. I'm stupid. I'd say something. I'm more afraid of knives. I've never been shot with a real bullet, but I've been cut with some real sharps. Please help me to show the truth. You can go ahead and show how mean a person I am. Just make sure you show why. People started threatening to kill my friends and family because they were on a drug-induced psychosis. Police officers decided they was going to beat me up over some pretty girlies to commit felonies all over the fucking place. Yes, I have the evidence that they're committing Medicare and Medicaid fraud across this state. Matter of fact, across the entire United States. And so does Claire, just so you know. See, that's one thing I taught her. Good girl. Taught her to watch her ass by recording it. We never went in together to turn it in. That's the thing that I needed her help with here. I needed her to run this stuff in with me, not for me. when she was trying to leave the state. I understood completely what she was doing. I was just pissed off about it because it screwed me over. And I vented about it screwing me over. But you know what? I still stand up for her, and that's what I need from people to do to me and for me, is stand with me. Be damned right or wrong, guilty or innocent, I should at least deserve an honest chance in court. If you decide that I'm so terribly evil that I should be locked up in prison for the rest of my life, we can do that. If you decide that my sister's life is worth something and my niece's life is worth something, we can protect them. The thing is that they're unsafe as long as I am free. Everybody is unsafe as long as I am free, because my predators may choose any target of opportunity. And I'm not saying that people are necessarily going to. I'm saying that the threat has been so heavily present. There have been so many people who have made fake accounts pretending to be my friends and family. So many people who have pretended to be autism advocates. So many people who offered to help me who didn't. Or when I got blamed for things that they had done, Candace Bondurant made a GoFundMe for me, and so did Carl Rogers. But I asked them to help me to do it, teach me how to do it. That's what I was after before Natalie was killed, and I've proven it. But these people didn't want to come forward. Some of them did finally. The Bollinger family messed with me hardcore, and I need help exposing it. People keep saying stupid stuff like you need to just walk away. I don't get to walk away. You mean get bullied into moving somewhere else so they can tell me I'm out of jurisdiction? That's just ludicrous. A lot of people had good intentions, but they didn't understand what right away meant. Whenever harm was befallen me, I had to try to talk to these people alone, and they got pissed off, but it's recorded. My whole channel is full of that, 6 years of it. I need help turning in literally my entire channel, all of my evidence, myself, and a bunch of actual predators that I've been mimicking. Every time my predators, every time one of them ends up dying, every time one of these people who pretends like I might hurt them ends up dead, I end up with people threatening to kill me and my family. Or pretending like they want to be my friend and just procrastinating. What would you do if your daughter was raped? How long would it take you to do that? And please don't say that you'd kill somebody, because you know in reality you wouldn't. Most of you. You got that hate and you got that rage, and yeah, sure, maybe right in the moment if it's right there in front of you. But if your daughter comes to you battered and bruised and says this just happened, are you going to send her to mental health? Tell her to go to the cops send her to mental health sends her to the cops. Both of them make a profit. Eventually she has a meltdown, a mental fucking breakdown from getting screwed over by both sides of the system. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm doing the best I can with the tools I have handy. But one of those tools that I got is my body, and it's broken because of repeated abuse by police. How dare I ever tell on a police officer?